I think that comparing with the Palestinians, you're very rich, but you're not paying them here. I'm not. You don't give enough money.
How do you know?
I even don't show who is more rich, me or
you. You got 10 taxis. You got one taxi. I see his taxis. Taxis are better looking at one. Your taxi is cheaper.
You're probably richer than me, Amos. I'm not rich. I'm a poor guy.
Then you know what I'm saying. If it's true what Amir say, you have taxis. I can be your driver.
Yeah, he's got 10 taxis. Yeah. Look at him. His title says
keep your mouth shut and can you keep your mouth shut and let me speak with Jindy?
Yeah.
Tommy, don't dictator. Shut your mouth.
Dictator.
Dictator, shut your mouth. Let me speak with Jindy.
Are we talking about how rich Jindib is?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck? What do you think of rich man?
Edward owns 20 taxis almost. Edward owns 20 taxis, and Jindib was 10.
No. Jindib is much richer. I mean, I'm not rich. Jindib is rich.
Yeah, he's
rich.
He owns small taxis. Edward owns small taxis. Jindib owns big taxis.
Yeah, but you know the insurance of those taxis now?
Yeah, but they're in the West Bank.
You know,
West Bank taxis.
Jindib, you know you can get away with something. Look, I'll give you guys a top secret, okay? I know somebody from Armenian side. Is there any Armenians in the room? Okay. I know a person from Armenian side. You know what he did? He bought a old fucking limo, for 5 or 10 grand. You could pick one up for 10 grand or 5 grand. He got an insurance, like a personal insurance on it, okay? And they'll sell you personal insurance in America. And guess what? He rides the customers around, and he gets jobs from Craigslist and all this other shit. And he shows it, these are my personal people.
My cousin used to do something similar. He used to have one of those Hummers, those Humvees.
Yeah.
And, they used to do weddings.
Hey, you can do weddings,
I'm trying to hear from Amos and Mazi. Come on, Mazi, how are you, Mazi? Fuck the limousine shit.
He only says, how are you to Mazi? He does it all the time, Edward. Can you believe it? He doesn't say hello to you.
An Iranian and a Palestinian.
If a native gets out of line, they go to the choppy zone.
Well,
You, as a guest.
That isn't even my point. My point is that Westerners can go there. That is my point. And also, Saudi Arabia is not actively trying to take out the fucking world. When you have places that are honestly this sort of extremism, okay, where and they come on this app. I don't know why we're acting brand new. I mean, they quite literally want to see Islam take over the world. That is the Islam I'm talking about. And there are not enough of the so-called good Muslims talking. Why? Because if they do, they are fucking killed too.
Yes, they are.
I think if you're looking at Saudi Arabia, there's a bunch of things that you might be getting mixed up. Number one, the jihadists.
That's my point.
Hold on.
It's not that random.
Astounding to me. So I thank all of you for making all of this possible. Room rules, ladies and gentlemen. Room rules. We are here Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock New York time. However, we will not be here tomorrow for the holiday, so that people can enjoy the extended holiday. For those of you who are going to enjoy the holiday and not boycotting it because of the President of the United States, which we will get into in just a couple of moments. But at any rate, that's where we are on that. Anyways, top of the hour, I will give my opening salvo, which hopefully will encourage you to join Rashad and Jacob and me on the stage, or you could come up now in anticipation of what you might want to say based on today's topic, or anytime in the next hour if something is said on the stage that prompts you to want to participate, raise your hand, and you will be invited onto the stage. I call people in the order in which I see them on the stage, which may not coincide with the order in which you see yourself. So if it appears that I've skipped over you, worry not. It just means I see you further down in the queue on my handheld device and you see yourself on yours. I always get to everyone who's in queue on the stage, time permitting. We used to call everybody whose hand is up onto the stage en masse, but that makes it difficult for me to maintain that order. So we now invite people one at a time so the stage doesn't get overly crowded. So if you're waving your hand down there in the audience and you think we're ignoring you, we are not. We will get to you again, time permitting. Unlike many of the other rooms in Clubhouse, in the Critical Thinking Forum, we treat one another with a degree of decorum and respect. We don't interrupt one another, and we appreciate that in advance. And generally speaking, after people speak, they are removed from the stage to the audience. This is not punitive in nature, and if that happens to you and you want a second go at it, raise your hand, and time permitting, you'll be invited back up on the stage. And finally, hey Marshall, welcome up on the stage. Finally, if I or a moderator asks you a question, please, both from the side of yours truly and the moderators, we will admonish ourselves collectively. And those of you who we are making inquiries, and we will admonish you collectively. Let's not let it devolve into a shouting match. I cannot follow when more than one person is speaking. And I'm sure other people can't as well. And I know that's how a lot of the other rooms on Clubhouse operate, but we don't operate that way here. We're a little bit different than some of those rooms. And so let's try to listen to each other with a degree of respect when that happens. Please, 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 we're less than a minute away from starting officially at the top of the hour, giving me opportunity to also welcome Rosalind, Lisa, Christopher, let's see, Clemens, Mary Lou, Liz, Daryl, Z or Z, Andrew, Murad, Sue, Mike, B. Tusha, and the ever-present Anonymous, and Dread.
That's John Kitover.
Welcome everybody to the Critical Thinking
That's John Kitover, the anonymous guy.
At the top of the hour, because that's the way Gary is wired. Welcome Hannah to the room. And we are now at the top of the hour. Welcome to the Critical Thinking Forum. We are here Monday through Friday at 5 o'clock New York time. Today's topic is, has Trump tarnished America 250 celebrations? Now listen, folks. I get accused when I ask questions of asking the questions as a sneaky way to make a point. Is Gary saying that the president has tarnished the America 250? No. Gary is asking the question. Well, why would Gary ask the question? Where does this come from? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for collectively asking me that question right now. Because believe it or not, I do have a logical answer to your question, and it is thus. I'm old enough to remember the bicentennial. I was involved in bicentennial celebrations.
Hey, Isa, how you doing, Contamela? It's my friend Isa. Isa is back to the app. She's in Switzerland. She's working for the Qatari government. Welcome back, Contamela.
My buddies and I came up with a great idea. How about riding a horse to the pubs, to the Irish pubs? And then, from on top of that sturdy, steady mount, one of us, not me, Leo McGinnis, would recite the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Oh my goodness, we had so much fun that day. And, hey, we even got interviewed by the Detroit News. It was wonderful. The point is, the country was just so excited to celebrate the bicentennial. There was no hesitation. There was no partisanship. we just all came together as a nation to celebrate. I know for those of you who are not old enough to remember those days, I am not looking back with rose-colored glasses, hazily viewing something nostalgically that wasn't. No, I am telling you how it actually was. Please, if you were not around during those days, you'll have to just take my word for it, please. I beg of you, I am telling you the truth. I know it's hard to believe. So, I posted what I thought on my Facebook was a really innocuous observation. Totally apolitical in Gary's mind, which I guess I should have predicted otherwise, because this is not 50 years ago. And I just mentioned exactly what I told you, and I said, where's the excitement this year? I don't sense it. I'm in New York City. There should be there's great excitement here for the World Cup. There's not as much as excitement, at least not that I can sense, for America 250. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did that open the floodgates of the Trump haters saying, Gary, you don't get it. Wait, this country's not what it used to be 50 years ago, and it's all the fault of Donald Trump, and we have nothing to celebrate. Nothing. I said, what? Huh? I don't get this. And there's been a back and forth going on for days on my Facebook about this. It's like, what does Donald Trump have to do with 250 years of history in the United States? Well, you know, he's commercialized to make it hit. Well, actually, he has and he hasn't. So let me throw the facts about that out. Long before Donald Trump was elected president, the planning was underway for what is called, and there is a distinction here, America 250. That's the official title that's used by the non-partisan, congressionally mandated, I could say bicentennial, semi-quincentennial commission. This is the semi-quincentennial.
You're listening to the Gary Baumgarten News Station.
250.
It is the 5 o'clock news, Eastern Standard, 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thank you for coming.
250. It's the official title designated by the White House as Salute to America 250 Task Force. This is not, even though it comes from the White House, the official America 250, right? So, look, if you want to go to the mall and you want to go to the so-called state fair, and I say so-called because the District of Columbia is not a state. Why they call it a state fair, I don't know. Maybe if they call it America's States Fair.
This is the 5 o'clock news. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe now.
The title would make sense. Okay, they call it the state fair. I'll call it the state fair. You can go there. Or if you find that tacky, disgusting, especially the mock-up of the arch that's supposed to be representative of what a great president Donald Trump is, and you think that that's politicizing this wonderful moment in the history of this country, which when they formed it, they weren't even sure it would last 250 years. Don't go. Boycott it. You'll be in the majority, because from what I can see, very few people are going. All right. But does that mean we can't celebrate otherwise? These folks are telling me there's nothing to celebrate. Our country is gone. It's done. It's finished. And it's all Donald Trump's fault. Donald Trump is responsible for the demise of the United States of America. This republic will never recover from Donald Trump. That's what they're telling me. I'm not arguing this. I'm telling you that this is what I have been told. Now, from Gary's perspective, you got to be crazy to say this. This is my perspective. You can disagree with me.
You're not crazy. You're
Please
annoying.
do come up on the stage and disagree.
You're stupid too,
Obviously,
Gary,
you're not
and
gonna
you
be the
run an
first.
echo chamber.
This is not about Donald Trump.
It is always
This
about
is about
Donald Trump.
250 years of history.
It's always about
that
Donald
we're
Trump.
celebrating, and we're still here, thank God. With all of our faults, with all of our problems, we are still standing, are we not?
Hello?
Is there not a lot to be proud of how far this country has gone? And if we recognize how far we've gone, I mean, we've had some terrible, terrible times. We had to go through suffrage. We had to go through the end of slavery. We had to go through the civil rights movement. The anti-war
Civil War and had a second birth of freedom.
Right. The Civil War and the second birth of freedom. And we have farther to go, but if we look to our past and we see how far we've gotten thus far, as the old Virginia Slims commercial said, you've come a long way, baby. The second part of that should be, but we got a lot more to go, but we showed that we could do it. We could overcome these impediments.
We can do it, Gary!
In this country. And that should be an incentive to move forward and expand our freedoms.
We're not perfect, and we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Projection says what?
Finish, please.
Keep interrupting, Marshall.
Screw up my train of thought.
That's what Marshall does best.
It should be something that we celebrate. So I'm saying to these people, and they're very.
Oh, we got Marshall good.
And they say, I'm not going to celebrate. I'm not going to celebrate the 4th of July.
I'm not gonna celebrate.
That's how I read their words. I know I'm being sarcastic, but I think it's so.
You are?
That the sarcasm
Hello?
is just flowing from Gary's mouth.
He's flowing.
So,
flowing.
I said to them, are you, that's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. Does Donald Trump, are you really allowing Donald Trump to have so much control of your personal life that you're not going to go out and fire up the grill and flip a burger? You're not going to go to the beach? You're not going to go to your town's fireworks? You're not going to go to the fair or the carnival? There's a fireman's fair that I'm going to go to. Oh, I just expressed how I'm going to handle this 4th of July. The tall ships are sailing into New York Harbor, the largest contingent of tall
This is
ships.
the 5 o'clock news. Please like, share, and subscribe this video now.
Leading to where that flyover is. I've been watching the various military aircraft practicing and coming in, and just from my kitchen window, just a few minutes ago, I saw some military helicopters, and
they're preparing to deport the millions of illegal aliens which are still living in this country
my
illegally.
neighbors are so thrilled because they know that they did it for me. At any rate, what
It's
does
Gary's
Donald Trump
word.
have to do with us going out and celebrating?
I don't know, Gary. You tell us.
I actually said in one of my posts to one of the people who said that she's not going to go out and celebrate. I said
She's
to her,
gonna celebrate.
Do they still make those postcards? I'm going to go out and watch the tall ships, and I'm going to send. Just give me your address. I'll send you a postcard. The ones that say "Wish you were here." Okay. Some of you are scratching your head and saying, "What the hell are postcards?" But at any rate, that's my take on it. It's so stupid to say, well, because Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that, and he wants to be a dictator, and he's got his own...
That's what Marshall Reagan says every day on this app.
I can't go out and celebrate. No. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This, too, my fine feathered Trump haters, friends, this too shall pass.
Is this an AA meeting now?
This is a nightmare. You wake up from your nightmare. You'll wake up from this nightmare.
It's a nightmare now? I thought we were going to celebrate.
the nation is.
You're all over the place, Gary. Your opening monologue is not good news.
Trump, which I guess would make him one of the most consequential presidents in our history.
Most consequential. He's so controversial, Gary.
Our freedom, our 250 years of this great experiment.
It's not an experiment, Gary. It's called statehood.
We have to drag us all down along the way. And really, you're not going to go out and enjoy your weekend with your family because of Donald Trump? Really? He has that much control over you? Okay, I've said enough. I'm going to open it up to folks to opine on this issue. This is weighty stuff, folks. This is weighty stuff. So I will call people in the order in which I see them. Today, that order begins with Marshall, followed by Alan, if he is available. Mark.
Our country is one of the greatest countries that has existed in 10,000 years of human history. It has lifted more people out of poverty, given the ability to have human freedom and liberty than almost any other experiment on Earth. And that is something we're celebrating.
Everybody's a scientist, always running these experiments.
Imperfections make us doing.
Welcome to the 5 o'clock news. You are listening to a brain rot. His name is Marshall Stankin Rankin. He works for a Hispanic congressional representative in Hidalgo, Texas. He is a ballot harvester and an election fraud criminal.
Because of their flaws, that we
He also dropped out of college because he was an alcoholic, never graduated college, and he is a pseudo-historian and a pseudo-intellectual.
We have striven to correct them. Do we live in a utopia? No, we never will. It's never going to happen. But Donald Trump should not be the reason you don't celebrate your country.
I am celebrating because of Donald Trump. What about that?
Two things. Number one, for the people who will not celebrate because of Donald Trump, they're doing exactly what Donald Trump wants.
What?
Which is to let him live in your head rent-free all the time. Dictate your emotions. Let him dictate how you see things.
Donald Trump lives in all these people's heads rent-free.
Abraham Lincoln is famous for
I just got out of a relationship with a woman who on her dating profile said, my goal is to live in your brain rent-free. No, I charge rent. No one gets to rent space in my head for free.
We have a dude in the White House that likes to for himself.
Hello?
And America 250 is a great thing to celebrate. It is wonderful to celebrate the fact that our country has had this incredible impact on the world, that it has lifted more people out of poverty than almost any other system on earth. And that is something to be proud of. You should be proud of our country, not just because of the good things we have done, but because we have overcome the things that were bad about us. You should be proud of it because it's the place in which you live and because your neighbors are important to you. The American fabric is made up of you and me and everybody else. And that is something worth protecting. It's worth working for. It's worth sacrificing. And for those who would simply use Donald Trump as a reason to hate on the country, you have a right as an American to dislike things. But I will tell you, always being in the negative, always thinking negative about things, never allows you to build and see the positive. Part of the problem with negative campaigning is that it tears and it doesn't build. On this anniversary of our country, we should want to build together. We should want to build a more perfect union and have a fourth breath of freedom. We had a second at the end of the Civil War, a third with the passage of the Civil Rights Act, in my view, and we can have a fourth birth of freedom now. America is not a nation of blood and soil. It is a creedal nation. It is one based on ideas. We, again, aren't perfect, and we never have been. But the fact that we have come so far from what our founders gave us is something to be appreciated, cared for, and loved. Mark,
Marshall, can I just say?
Do not interrupt the mod!
That you just introduced to the conversation is appreciated by the likes of myself.
So hold on there, buddy, because you probably don't know because you're not a regular here, but we speak one at a time here on the Critical Thinking Forum. But we will get to you.
Thanks, Infinity. I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's all I have to say. We're not a perfect country.
We're not perfect. We're not perfect.
One of the things history
We'll never
tells
have
us
a
is
utopia.
that we are imperfect. And we don't love individuals because they're perfect. We love them despite and sometimes because of their imperfections.
Hello?
And that's a reason to love our country. Don't let the president or your hatred of the country's bad things
Donald Trump's the greatest thing that's ever happened in this country.
Is it Mr. Baumgarten? May I go now, or is there?
No. I will call
you in the order in which I see you.
Shut the fuck up, Marshall.
In just a second.
Okay, Alan, are you with us?
Of course, I'm with you. With this important topic, but this gentleman keep jumping, so I didn't know what to do. I just was sitting here, and I couldn't sign with the better iPhone. I had to sign with this +6, so it's way behind. All I can say is I'm proud. 50 years of these 250 years I've been witnessing, day in and day out. I agree with everything Marshall says. You don't look at the country with one person. First of all, Mr. Trump or any of the president, they are not America. They try to present America, but they are human. They make a lot of fault. When Gary was giving the salvo, it took me to way back when I was almost in second or the third grade of high school when we had the 250,000 years of celebration, civil celebration.
Hello?
I had the same thing.
Hello? You got nothing better to do? Hello?
Nothing to be.
You got nothing better to do than to watch John Kitover on his YouTube live stream? Hello?
That's what they come up.
Hello?
The same kind of frame of thought still exists. It's just as the other day you were talking about the idiot disagree with the policy of Israel and goes to the synagogue and beat the hell out of innocent 80 years old person.
Hello?
That's how it is. What can you say? Hi, how are you, sir? Go in the humidor if you need me. I'll come out here. Anyway, it's how can I say it? But I'm proud. I live in the community. They already started it last Saturday. We had a great fireworks. I could stand up in my backyard and see these flame goes between the trees, and it's a lot better than you see it with no trees because the spark comes out of this black dark. It's beautiful. It's an unbelievable experience. I had 50 small, flags of America.
This is the 5 o'clock news. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video.
I saw the celebration. There's a lady, realtor lady, go in and put these.
Hello?
These special hands.
You got nothing better to do? You're watching John Kitover's YouTube live. Hello?
And it is good. It's going, but we celebrate the existence of history. We celebrate the existence of one country as a whole. We don't worry about one person destroying
Hello?
demolish it or whatever. If the brain is pea-sized and think like that, which we have lots of dumb people living with their smartphone. Believe me, it's a fool. All you have to open your eyes and look at it. If they say things, well, Marshall said it. We have this privilege of freedom. They can say it. There are countries, if you say that, they cut your tongue or they hang you by the trees, don't matter where you are. But it is a time celebration. It's a history, and I am glad 50 years I was part of it. Back to you.
Thank you, Alan. And Alan, you're representative of a lot of people who were born elsewhere, and when they seek freedom, they come to the United States. So if things are so bad, why are people still trying to get into the country?
That's my question I've been asking me. They bitch about this, that, and they come in here and they bring all them shit, bag full of shit, and they trying to shove it to my face. I see it in my city. Believe me, again.
Well, we have good people and bad people trying to come into the country, obviously, but I'm just saying that folks still see the United States as, you know, the country that they want to emigrate to, and
exactly.
Sometimes they see greater hope here than we do ourselves, I'm afraid. Thank you for that, Alan. We'll go to Scott, followed by Rashad.
All right. It's great to see everybody. Trump. Well, look, Trump tarnishes a lot of things, right? I mean, this is the nature of Donald Trump and his presidency. I mean, he's a disruptive figure who is irreverent and I mean, irreverent on a good day. I mean, oftentimes offensive and just sometimes vile, vulgar, lots of things. But I want to say, like, in the back of my head, we did a clubhouse room about this topic, about the topic, are you proud to be an American? Based on a Marist poll that came out. This is a brand new poll. And in this poll, a majority of Americans are proud, 65% of Americans say they're either very proud or proud to be an American, with 35% reporting that they are not very proud or not proud at all to be American.
That's the Gallup poll, I believe you're referring to, right?
Yeah, this is the Marist poll. The Gallup numbers are a little different. This is the Marist numbers. Gallup also has done this as well recently, but I'm reading from the Marist polls just because this is the one I was fresh in my mind. So, and the partisan breakdown is interesting. 93% of Republicans say they're either very proud or proud to be an American, with 45% of Democrats and 61% of independents saying they feel that way. When asked to provide a single word, Gary, at all, or a phrase that captures what best defines what it means to be an American, a plurality of Americans, 36%, offered freedom/liberty. 14% said patriotism or national pride. Now that's interesting, right? Because one is creedal and one is more descriptive. One is an ideal, and one is sort of a sort of more base loyalty. I think that's interesting. Other definitions of American identity, including rights or constitutional rights, Constitution received 8%.
Hello?
And diversity.
You really got nothing better to do?
Only.
You seriously gonna sit here and watch this bald asshole on YouTube Live all afternoon? You got nothing better to do?
People that say
hello?
Of the country, over 60% on the whole, when not adjusting for partisanship. But when thinking about the principles and ideals on which the country was founded, 47% of Americans nationally say the country has moved away from those ideals. 36% think we've moved somewhat away, while 16% thinks the country still represents these principles. This is pretty interesting. In 1976, when America marked its bicentennial, and we're coming out of the shadow of Watergate, the Roper organization, I don't know what that is, but this is something Marist quotes, asked the same question and found that 46% of Americans thought that America had moved somewhat away from its founding ideals. 30% said the nation had moved far away from them, and 18% said America was still reflecting its founding principles. Now, of course, Democrats are more likely, 53% to 42%, than Republicans, to say that the nation has moved away from the ideals of the founding fathers, while Republicans, 20% to 13% to Democrats, are more likely to say that the nation still reflects these principles. Younger generations are more likely than older generations to say America aligns with its founding ideals. That's interesting, right? Younger generations, think about that. Younger generations are more likely than older generations to say America aligns with its founding ideals. 21% of Gen Z, 19% of millennials, compared to 14% of Gen X and 13% of baby boomers. 52% of Americans, including 65% of Republicans and 52% of independents, think the nation's best days are ahead of us. 45% of Americans say that they're behind us. Democrats divide, 50% saying the nation's best days are behind us, and 48% looking optimistically and saying that best days are ahead. Now, interestingly, more than 8 in 10 Americans say a serious threat to democracy exists. 82% think that there's a serious threat to democracy. This is up from 78% in February. So there we go, Gary. I don't know.
Those are the stats, Gary.
10 Americans, 59%. Say we're thinking about the nation's 300,000.
Oh, a genocidal nation controls America? Wow.
The future generations would better.
That's an amazing analysis.
So, here we go. We've got a dialectic here, I think. People are proud and yet troubled. People have this sense of the significance of America's founding ideals, and yet a significant portion.
This is the 5 o'clock news. Like, share, and subscribe to this video.
And people are not altogether confident that our best days are ahead of us. So what does all that mean, Gary?
I don't know, Gary. I don't know.
All that data.
It's a lot of data, Scott.
Interesting as we head into.
That's a lot of data.
Anniversary of the country.
So given the fact that there is some optimism, but there's a lot of pessimism as well, and again, some of that pessimism may be frustration over the current administration. How does that translate into people actually claiming that they're not going to celebrate this holiday weekend because of Donald Trump?
I don't know, Gary.
I think there are people. I'm sure this breaks down on partisan lines, right? I'm sure 93% of Republicans think the country's going great, and they'll be celebrating zealously. I'm guessing the vast majority.
Zealot celebrators.
They're not going to celebrate are on the left, and for them, Donald Trump, sort of overshines.
Are we celebrating America, or are we celebrating Donald Trump? Because I hate Donald Trump,
I mean, that seems to me.
and I hate America too.
That seems to me to be.
It's a systemic, racist society.
Right? So I don't know. I will celebrate. I'm not.
I don't know.
Donald Trump fan, but I will. I'll wear my red, white, and blue or something, or do something festive because I'm in.
It's a festive guy.
Birthplace of freedom here in Philadelphia. So what can I do, Gary? I mean,
the Liberty Bell. Go to the Liberty Bell and kiss it.
Significance.
Kiss the curvature of the Liberty Bell.
By the way, we have more copies, original copies, of the Declaration of Independence than any city. More than Boston. So take it, Beantown. We're more independent and connected to the 1776 founding than you are, Boston. So take it.
For Boston, what city are you sticking it to?
We go one at a time here. Do not interrupt. You have not been called yet.
Of the original Declaration of Boston.
Thank you for that, Scott. I think
Gary, I don't know how many are in New York or New Jersey, but you guys can't hold a candle to that.
So I suggested in one of my responses to this argument that, Gary, don't you get it? There's no reason to celebrate. That if Donald Trump is reading my timeline, he's got to be laughing his ass off. That people...
Because you're a comedian, Gary.
He dislikes politically. Because, yes, all of these folks obviously are from the left. Are so upset with him that they can't even enjoy their long holiday weekend. Ha ha ha! Got you.
Ha ha ha! Got you, Gary. Ha ha ha! Got you, Gary. Hello? What are you gonna do for the 4th of July?
What that man wants more than
You
anything
hate.
else is to live in people's heads rent free.
Living in people's heads rent free. Here we go again, Marshall.
To be the center of attention all the time. So the more people say, I'm not going to celebrate.
Projection says what?
Or I won't celebrate because he's a terrible president. They're giving Donald Trump what he wants and what he has wanted since he's gotten involved in public life. And if they
like this video right now, I'm trying to live in your head rent-free.
Stick in his eye would be to celebrate the country. So you know what? Despite the fact that you're the guy I don't like, I'm going to find something good about our country.
I mean, I can understand them boycotting his own little...
Yeah, so do I get the boycotting of Freedom 250. That makes sense to me, right? Don't make it about yourself, right? You're not supposed to. But the idea that you can't find anything to celebrate because he's it, you're giving him exactly what he wants. He wants people to make him the number one issue in their mind for why they will or won't do things. So a real answer to him wanting to be the center of attention would be to not make him the center of attention. No, I'm going to get together with my family and my friends, and we're going to find something good about him.
The president, it's pretty obvious that Barack Obama is public enemy number one. And
he is public enemy number one.
And even today, he came up with a new nickname for Obama in a True Social posting.
Oh, Obama. O-B-U-M-A, right?
Yeah, Obama.
He is an Obama.
Do you think that Barack Obama lies awake at night thinking, he's calling me Obama?
No. I think he thinks like George W. Bush did at the end of his presidency, which is they're still talking about Washington 250 years later. I'll be just fine.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I'll get you in a second, Rashad. Folks, please, hang on. I'll call you one at a time. I look at, with all the verbal assaulting from this president on that former president, I look at the opening of the Obama Library in Chicago. And whether you like Obama or not, oh my God, was that a fantastic opening ceremony with all those all these great musicians performing and
all the presidents together, right? I really like the fact that all the presidents were there together.
Well, not all of them.
Not all except Trump, but you know what I mean. All except the sitting president were there.
Right, and my hometown guy, Stevie Wonder, who, name dropping here, I had opportunity to interview, and it was a thrill to meet the guy, and he still sounds as great as he ever has. Everybody was just absolutely thoroughly enjoying the experience, including the former president and the former first lady. And then, by the way, the next day, when they opened the doors, surprise, surprise, and the first people through the doors were kids.
Surprise, surprise!
I'm sure this was all a photo op setup, but still, here they were being personally greeted at the door, the first 100 people through the door, by Barack and Michelle. And they were obviously delighting in the experience.
They were delighted because they had to get their trans story time hour started. Hello?
To use your terminology, Marshall. And my friends who are just...
This is the 5 o'clock news. We are listening to extreme brain rot sufferers, elite intellectual liberal progressives. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video right now.
President could maybe use Barack Obama as an example. I think it probably irks.
God trying to commit espionage and sabotage against America, and he's going to use Obama as his shining example?
Yeah, I understand people not wanting to celebrate because
you want to celebrate los Estados Unidos.
American right now.
Los Estados Unidos?
And I think how the president conducts themselves, how the nation, how the administration conduct themselves are indicative of how people often feel.
It's one of the reasons I feel like Obama gets a lot of more rep from the people, because when Obama was president, people were proud to be an American. You could argue that maybe Obama, his representation alone was a symbolism of what America was moving toward: diversity, culture. And I think that one of the things that I think the president has tarnished America's image in terms of morality. I think in terms of morality and reliability. I think about how we have a Fox News anchor as our Secretary of Defense. We have a wrestling executive's wife, I think, as the head of the Department of Education. There are many different things, right? I could go on till I'm blue in the face about so many things that in the nation right now, especially in our administration, speak of favoritism. It shows that if you are a yes man to this administration, you can get far. Those things don't really align with morality and how people in our country were brought up in America. So it made sense to me when the gentleman before, Scott, spoke about how older generations do not see, they don't kind of favor where America is now. I can't remember verbatim what he said, but you saw that the now does, the youth do, right? Because you're young, you always get ahead. But older generations weren't raised on that. They weren't raised on, hey, if you're a yes man, you'll get far. If you kiss ass, you'll get far. Hey, let's remove these people because they don't look like us, and let's put these people in place because they look like us, regardless of if they're qualified or not. So, and just in the entire Iran conflict, all of these things are accumulation of favoritism, narcissism, and just things that aren't indicative of how the country was brought up, or how it was sold to people. So I can see how, I'm not saying that people won't celebrate. If you are proud to be an American, then do celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Me being in the military, I'm not particularly proud to be an American right now. Do I love my country? Without question. Will I continue to serve these next 5 years until I retire? Without question. But as in right now, no. I'm saying I'm not, right? I'm still going to go about my day. I'm going to enjoy the time off, me and my wife. But are we celebrating being proud Americans? No. And I think that is what the celebration is about on July 4th. It's about, hey, we're proud to be Americans right now. I think most people are proud to be Americans right now. And that is indicative of how the president has conducted himself in this country. One of the things that Sergeant Major told me, he said, regardless of where you want to say that Trump is the sole connection to America or not, he is the head of the country. Look, if things go awry in a unit, an artillery unit, they don't just look at the commander and say, hey, you can wash your hands of this issue, because even though you're the head of the unit, you had nothing to do with this fraternization over here where enlisted were having sex with subordinates and things like that. No, you are a direct causality of this, because this means you fostered this environment. What we see in America right now is indicative of the president fostering this environment. He's shown that, hey, if you are a yes man, then I will allow you to get far. So it makes sense that we see this in our nation, right? One of the biggest scandals was about CP with children. All of a sudden now, people start noticing there's a lot more people getting arrested for CP. You fostered this environment, so it's not too far from reality that these things will all of a sudden become some of the bigger issues in our country. Teachers sleeping with students and things like that. So that's all I got to say to it. Thank you for the space.
Can I ask you something? Man, I'm going to tell you right now, if you interrupt, you're going to be off the stage again. Please do not interrupt. Thank you very much for your cooperation. Rashad, I thought you made a lot of very excellent comments until you got to the child pornography issue. It may come as a big surprise, but this kind of deviant behavior has been around long before Donald Trump was even born, much less became president. I don't think people who are child predators suddenly feel like, oh, they got the green light to be child predators because Donald Trump is president of the United States. In fact, we know that people who have that proclivity have an illness and they can't control themselves, and that doesn't excuse it at all, but it is an illness. The recidivism rate is very high because of it. If you're at all a fan of Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator, you will see it's astounding almost that he'll walk in and the person will say, I thought I was talking to you, Chris. He thought he was talking to him, but he showed up for the meet with the child. He thought, who Chris was pretending to be. He showed up for the meet anyway, even knowing that there was a good chance that Chris Hansen would walk in and the cops would be right behind him with the silver bracelets because he can't help himself. And if you listen to some of those interviews, because he sits down with them and talks to them, you will learn that. So I think that's an unfair accusation. Because Donald Trump is president, suddenly we have a rise in child predator issues. I think it's always been a problem. I can look up the statistics to back it up, and if I'm wrong, if there's suddenly a spike when Trump became president, I will report that I'm inaccurate in my assessment, and then we could discuss the causation at that point. But I'm pretty sure you're going to have a hard time proving or even showing any evidence that because Donald Trump is president, suddenly there's an increase in child predator activity in the country. And I'll let you respond.
No, I mean, Gary, I understand what you're saying. I agree. I think there are two sides to this. I think you make a lot of good, valid points. I've always kind of agreed with things, your synopsis. I think you make a lot of good points. I'm not going to say that you're entirely wrong. You're definitely right in certain aspects. I just think about, how people see things in the moment. I think, Gary, you see the long-term things in terms of it's one president. There'll be another election, and you people will like the next president, right? So things will go on. Stop living in a moment where you say, oh, because the administration is doing things, you just decide that America's just this fuck-up country and you can't be proud. I completely understand that, and I agree with that. But I think about how people often think things, even down to soldiers. They always kind of see in the moment, trigger headlines and things like that. And just in the climate we're in right now, with the president who spoke about trying to become a king, who's trying to do things that are indicative of kings, surrounding himself with a council that he's hoping bend the rules because he did them favors. I just can't see. I can see how certain people will say, no, I'm not proud to be an American right now. Now, maybe next year they'll be proud to be Americans. Who knows?
I'll just respectfully point out that we are not celebrating Donald Trump. He would like us to. I know. But we're not celebrating Donald Trump. If I put my flag out tomorrow tomorrow's the 3rd of July, but it's a holiday. If I put up my flag for the holiday, it's not saying, make America great again, make America healthy again, all those things that the president says about the Democrats, I agree with. No. In fact, I will not stoop down so low as to wave the American flag as a means of adulation for anyone, especially any politician, any president. That's not why we fly the flag. It's so weird how there's a perception in some communities that if you put the flag out, you're a Republican. If you don't put the flag out, you're a Democrat. Okay, I took a stand. I planted the flag or didn't plant the flag.
That's really very parochial thinking, and it doesn't do us any good. So I would just say, look back at where the country was when it was founded. Look at where it is today. Look at where it can be tomorrow, and celebrate that. And forget about Donald Trump if you don't like Donald Trump. If you like Donald Trump, great. Say he's a great president, and I agree with the president that we should be celebrating. That's your prerogative too. But to not celebrate the birth of this nation, 250 years ago, as old as Donald Trump is, he wasn't around then, Thanks for shot. Good call. Les, followed by Leroy.
Well, I don't know what me.
No, Leroy. I said Les, followed by Leroy. Everybody's so excited about discussing this that they're jumping on the mic. Just.
Oh, Les. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Les, followed by Leroy.
That's funny.
So I look at what I do despise though is when people do not like is when people have this ignorance of history and that things have improved within my lifetime. And I think two of the big things that make this country a much greater country in terms of civil rights was the Voting Rights Act, and starting in 1970, late, but better late than never, blacks got the vote, and then, as we know, politicians became their beggars. They had to appeal to people rather than treat them like dirt. And also, you had the laws about housing, fair housing, and the Trump properties in 1973. They were forced to let black folks have apartments there, and and as you know, that was a very wealthy family with a lot of power, but they had to. So that's something that you didn't see before that, and I don't like when people just imply that things are the same. And then that's just a personal note too. I've got interracial children, and when I was dating in the 60s, you had there was a lot of menace and everything, and that doesn't happen anymore. So things are somewhat better. I really dislike what Mr. Trump is doing. He's got all this money, but he takes my tax dollars. I went to Washington, D.C., the Justice Department building, and his face is on the side of the Justice Department building. And but I'm guessing that 2 years from now, when he's out of office, that too shall pass. Thank you.
I kind of chuckled a little bit as you were talking about your family, Les. Remember the movie, Look Who's Coming to Dinner? It was about, bringing somebody of another race to the dinner table to introduce to mom and dad. Today, as you point out, that's not such a taboo thing. But we can remake that movie. You know what it would be? Let's look who's coming to dinner. It's a Democratic family, and you brought a MAGA person as your current beau. Or it's a Republican family and you brought a Democrat. That's where the divide is. The divide that we had along the racial lines is dissipating. It hasn't dissipated. It's dissipating. Nobody looks
once, twice when there's an interracial couple any longer. I don't know, maybe in some parts of the country they do. I was actually thinking about this yesterday. I happened to glance at a terrific looking couple. It was a black guy and a white gal, and they were as happy as could be, and I was passing by them, and the thought went through my mind, oh my God, can you imagine back in the Jim Crow days, this kid could get lynched for dating a white girl, you know? That's thought. But today, that same kind of divide is along political lines, and I think that speaks exactly, Les, to our topic today. Exactly to it. Thank you, sir. Leroy, followed by William.
So, ever since my ancestors and my people stepped off the plantation or even been on the plantation, one of the things that I know that we have been challenged by is a country that not only kills our body, but wants to kill our spirit. Our spirit is so amazing that despite Jim Crow laws and despite black codes and despite all the things that the Confederates and Donald Trump being like a torchlight for a Confederate white nationalist rhetoric, all designed to kill black people's spirit. And I'm only speaking about black people. Everybody can speak for themselves. The one thing that I got to say about this country, we as a people have, despite the constant attack on our spirits and our bodies, despite all of that, only in this country can we point to the achievements and the progress that we've made despite the spirit of that still lingers today, especially under the Trump administration. So if I get together with anybody today, it wouldn't be because I could say, first of all, I'm pissed off that we're not a countrymen. Like, we're really not real countrymen. I don't know, maybe we might have been somewhat countrymen during the Kennedy administration. I'm not sure. But there was a lot of upheaval attacking black people's spirit. I refuse to let anybody destroy my spirit, much less the country. And Donald Trump, he has been contributing to the spirit of the country in such a horrible way, right? But I must say this. When I get together with if I'm going to go to my friend's house on the 4th of July, it would probably be not because I'm celebrating America, and not because I'm not pissed off at Donald Trump, it's because I want to be around people who are going to help empower my spirit and say, we're going to keep moving on. We're going to keep celebrating who we are. We're going to turn to the spirit of our gospel's music, the spirit of our culture, the spirit of who we are, the legacy of the people who's tried to inject in us our spirit in a way to keep forging on despite not being left alone. All we want is 100 years of being left the F alone.
Leave us the fuck alone. That's the new policy. Leave us the fuck alone.
Can we imagine a country that has the potential of leaving us the fuck alone?
I think that's like George Carlin's joke, isn't it?
We normally would. People keep forgetting.
What are they forgetting?
Never wanted to deal with race. We only wanted to be integrated and be Americans. That's who black people really, really are at the core. We don't want this, you black, I'm white, F you. We really just want to be Americans. We operate every day.
Really? Is that why
like
our
Americans,
people, my
same
people?
Shit as any white person do. Or any other, we really are highly morally upstanding and we will fight for the morals of this country to stand strong. We do that every single day.
Every day, 10 toes deep in the soil.
This country constantly shit on our spirit.
What?
Constantly, even now.
600,000 people died fighting for your spirit.
With our friends and our family, who's about keeping our spirit empowered and saying, "Don't worry about it."
Quietness of spirit. Speaking of spirit,
like this,
let's do some spirit work.
Poverty, live in the fucking project, right, and still make a name for myself.
He did it.
As an author and an artist, and still prospering. Only in a country like this can something happen. Can you imagine? A country that was so rooted into race.
It's time to breathe deeply and relax completely.
Thriving. I'm getting ready to work on an audio book. This is not a plug.
And relax.
This is showing you what the potential of this great country can be for people. If they didn't shit on people's spirit.
Feel
Donald Trump
the blood
shits on people's spirit.
through your
Maybe not
arms and
everybody,
legs,
but he shits on
your
enough
body
people's
and mind.
spirit to make you not want to fuck and celebrate this country.
Relaxing.
But you know what? If we celebrate, it's not going to be because of Donald Trump. If we
Take
don't
a
celebrate, it won't be
deep
because
breath.
of Donald Trump.
Hold
It'll be
it as
because
long as
some
you
of our
comfortably
spirits are
can.
broken. Or it'll be
And then
because
let it out
we
slowly
want to be
through
around each other,
slightly
we want
parted
to
lips.
empower each other, lift each
And
other
when
up,
the
and look
breath
back and say,
is
you know
all the
what?
way out,
We have a lot to be
contract
grateful
your
for.
stomach muscles
Look at
and
you.
push it
You're
even
healthy.
further out.
I'm your
Look
friend.
at you.
I'm your sister. I'm your brother. You got me.
And
We
then
got each other.
repeat this
And
process
we're
of
empowering each other.
breathing
That's the
deeply
crazy part about it.
and
Despite
relaxing
all of this
completely.
bullshit, people are empowering each other.
And
Not
if
the
any
nation.
outside
Not
thoughts should
America.
come into your
Not
mind,
Trump. When you look at
simply
it,
brush them
come
aside
down to it.
and
It's who
return
you are
your
in close proximity
concentration to the
who you
sound
love,
of my
who
voice.
you care for, the
And
community you are.
breathing
That is
deeply
America right now.
and relaxing
You are
completely.
close to get the love you need to stay empowered.
Breathing deeply
And in only a country like
and
this,
relaxing
maybe
completely.
only a country like this.
Shut the fuck up.
And now use your imagination and feel your body relaxing one part at a time in response to my words. Play the role, play the part, and mentally relay the relaxing suggestions into that part of your body and feel them take effect. Feel your body relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And the relaxing sensations are now coming into the toes of both of your feet at the same time. Moving right on down into your arches, into your heels, and on up into your ankle. Completely relaxed, completely relaxed. And these soothing sensations are now moving on up your legs to your knees, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. And on up your legs to your thighs and to your hips, just completely relaxing. And your full attention is on the sound of my voice. As the relaxing sensations move into the fingers of both of your hands, relaxing your hands. And it now moves on up into your forearms, relaxing your forearms, and on up into your upper arms, relaxing your upper arms. And your fingers and hands and forearms and upper arms are now just completely relaxed as the soothing sensations move on down into the base of your spine, And then begin to move slowly up your spine, up your spine, up your spine, and into the back of your neck and shoulder muscles. And the back of your neck and shoulder muscles are now loose and limp, loose and limp, just completely relaxed. And the relaxing sensations now move on up the back of your neck and into your scalp, relaxing your scalp. Feel your scalp relaxing, and feel the relaxing sensations flow down into your facial muscles, relaxing your facial muscles, just completely relaxing your facial muscles. Allow a little space between your teeth, and your jaw is relaxed. And your entire body is now relaxed all over in every way. All tension is gone from your body and mind. All tension is gone from your body and mind. And it's time to imagine a bright white light coming down from above and entering your crown chakra of spirituality on the top of your head. Now, this is the universal light of life energy. See it, feel it, create it with the unlimited power of your mind, and feel the light within you, flowing through your body and mind, filling you to overflowing with this bright white protectory light. And now, vividly imagine the light concentrating around your heart area. And visualize it emerging from your heart area to totally surround your body with a protectory aura of bright white God light. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, vividly imagine yourself in a situation in which you were going down, 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 deeper and deeper down, as I count backwards from 7 to 1. Number 7, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 1. And you're now very, very deep, and you feel deep. But let's go down even deeper, even deeper, even deeper. Number 7, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2. Deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 1. And you're now relaxed and at ease and at peace, in a relaxing, altered state of consciousness. And each and every time you alter consciousness, you will go deeper than the time before, until you've reached your natural level.
Cultures of the world. So I think we do have a lot of good wins going into the 250. And of course, you know, the fight continues for those that are still yearning to be free.
Messing around.
The immigrants that are worrying about relatives that are in ICE detention centers and our Jamaican and our Haitian wannabe American citizens are facing deportation, and so it's a sad time to be an American as well, Gary. Given the fact that it's hard to celebrate when so many are facing daunting prospects in their attempt to become who we are, and so for that, you know, it's bittersweet. And, you know, that note I'll land as well. This is a good room here and a great discussion, given the timeliness of it.
I know, David, you got some spleen there, dude. So, I know a lot of you didn't get that reference. I think David probably did. So, you mentioned the World Cup. Here's an interesting factoid about the World Cup. Did you know that the viewership on Telemundo is off the charts? And when they do an analysis of that, this is not to take away from the viewership on Fox, which is also off the charts, but when they do an analysis of the Telemundo viewership, they find that 20%, I don't know how they know this, but they claim that 20% of those watching the World Cup on Telemundo do not speak Spanish, but they watch it on Telemundo because they want to hear the Spanish call. Because when they're calling it on Telemundo, boy, are they calling it. And I find that extremely interesting, David. I thought you would as well.
Well, that's because that announcer is very famous for calling the goal. Yeah.
Et cetera. We don't have enough time for me to stretch it out.
And there's a level of enthusiasm in something about the Spanish language that's much more spirited as the game's being played, and so I think there's some of that. And I speak because that energy is very important, and yeah, this is they're a big part of the hosting of this great cup as well. So anyway, great, thanks for bringing that up. That's a great point.
The big viewership is the United States and Mexico. F great.
Gary, can you hear me?
F great. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Long time no speak. I don't know, a couple of months, 3 months. I just want to come on. Hey, one other factoid maybe you all talked about. You know, on Juneteenth, during America's match. I forget against I forget who it was against. Young player on the American team, I think 21 years old, born in Baltimore, which is, we know, is the home of Frederick Douglass, birthplace of Thurgood Marshall. Scores on his first shot, scores a point. His last name is Freeman. The irony of it all. But anyway, what I want to say, I have to lay down my poetry and my words to Les and to David. I couldn't say it any better or more accurately or more comprehensively than how David and Leroy just put it. But speaking of for me, my family, I just thank God for the people who have tried to, over the centuries, over the decades, who have tried to uphold the ideals and the dreams and the ethics and the principles of this experiment that we call America. That's who I'm in gratitude to. You know, people in my family.
Everybody is scientists. It's all an experiment.
All those things that they articulated, they still
articulation
had their eye. The words of Dr. King. He said, we will either live together as a choice. We will either elect to live together as brothers and sisters, or perish together as fools. And people have different opinions. My opinion, we have a leadership, we have an example of leadership that perhaps would rather the nation perish than try to live together as brothers and sisters. And the last thing I'll say, Gary, I don't know why this is on my heart today, Gary, but I just want to attempt to sing a little bit of an old spiritual song. And it goes a little something like this. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burdens down by the riverside. Ain't gonna study war no more. Said I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I said I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Thank you, Gary.
Well, you know, a lot of people say, since I have a conversion van, that you're likely to find me waiting for you there down by the riverside. Thank you, that's great. Manfinity. We'll try you one more time.
A little bit. Now we can hear you. Yeah.
I was on a phone call earlier, so I apologize. I didn't know the rules of the room, so I am now fully aware that you must wait your turn, and it's one at a time, as you mentioned. But real quick, before I jump into it, Gary, you said you spoke to Stevie Wonder. You said that you share a hometown with him. Are you from Saginaw or from Detroit?
No, Detroit, man. Homegrown Detroit.
Okay, just so you know, he's originally from Saginaw. So.
I did not know that, but we've adopted him as ours, so.
Of course, Motown. So, no, I just wanted to, a lot of what I said is going to be out of context because the previous speakers are gone, but some of the stuff I remember from Rashad and others that, they're not, at this moment in time, they're not proud to be an American because of our current leadership and all that he's doing. I think it's a shame that they tie their pride to their country, with or without, on a president that they agree with or not. I think that's a sad commentary. It's like, as Marshall and you had mentioned it, there's so much to acknowledge in our history that you can take, you derive appreciation and inspiration from. But I want to say that with the steady drumbeat, you guys are calling for like a kumbaya moment. That can't happen because we live in a moment in time where there's a steady drumbeat about how evil America was and was in terms of the original sin of slavery, and then today our imperialistic motives. We hurt countries all over the world, this, that, and the third. A steady drumbeat of that on all of the perception management systems, whether it's Hollywood, whether it's academia, whether it's media in general. America is not portrayed in this flourishing way that, as you guys describe it. It's portrayed as the root of all evil that happens in the world. But it seems like you guys have enough awareness of history where you guys can't be impacted by that. But unfortunately, we have many Americans who are ignorant of the true history, which is good, bad, and ugly. Not just bad, but they're given a steady appetite of what is bad and ugly. So when you say something good, you're trying to, sanitize the good and the bad and the ugly. No, the bad and the ugly exists, but there is also good. And I appreciate that at least Marshall and Gary, I've heard you guys speak. You guys seem to be aware of the fuller context of America's history. And I think only then can you fully appreciate what America represents in the world. And I'll stop there. Thank you.
Well, I'm glad you did not give up and came back up to the stage. Appreciate that. And now that you are no longer a critical thinking forum virgin, we expect to hear from you early and often, like voting in Chicago. Folks, that's not just it for today, but for this week, because, of course, going along with the theme of our show today, we will not be here tomorrow for the 4th of July holiday. So everybody have a great weekend. So until 5 o'clock New York time on Monday, for the next edition of the Critical Thinking Forum, everybody be safe.
Which can be maintained by using this technique several times a week.
And peace out.
Now, if at any time you feel uncomfortable in any way, all you have to do to awaken is to mentally count yourself up from 1 to 5. So you're in control. You can awaken at any time you desire to do so. And you're now relaxed and at ease, and a quietness of spirit permeates your body and mind. And I'm going to begin by providing suggestions that will be communicated to every level of your body and mind. And they'll be accepted on every level of your body and mind. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. You release all tension created by stored up energy within your nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through your body and mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You have the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problems. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change, and you change the things you can. You accept who you are. You always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through you without affecting you. As a result of this programming, you develop a new, mellow, and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. And it's now time to visualize yourself having successfully overcome any and all anxiety. Imagine how good it feels to experience an ongoing quietness of spirit. Imagine your reactions and the reactions of those close to you. Vividly fantasize all the changes and benefits derived from living life in this calm state of mind. Create every detail of these visualizations, and in so doing, you communicate your desires to the levels of mind that will assist you in manifesting the positive outcomes. Imagine what you desire as if it were already so. Do this now while I am quiet for a while. And you've just seen your own reality. And you're open to positive suggestions which you'll accept and act upon. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind. You release all tension created by stored up energy within your nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through your body and mind to be used in constructive ways. You feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. You have the courage and confidence to do what you need to do to resolve your problems. You can resolve your concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. You accept the things you cannot change, and you change the things you can. You accept who you are. You always do your best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through you without affecting you. As a result of this programming, you develop a new, mellow, and confident self-image. Quietness of spirit are your key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind, and they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. And these suggestions have been communicated to every level of your body and mind. And they've been accepted on every level of your body and mind. And it's now time to use a repeat technique to saturate your mind with a message. Together, we'll communicate it to every level of your being. So say the words along with me, silently in your mind. Shout them out silently and hear them echo out across the universe and back to you. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind, and my stored up energy is released to flow freely through my system. That's right. A quietness of spirit now permeates your body and mind, and all your stored up energy is released to flow freely through your system. And every day, in every way, you become more peaceful and harmonious. Your new, mellow, and confident self-image is a projection of who you are. It is. You are mellow and self-confident. And I'm now going to give you some key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. Anytime you feel the slightest bit nervous, simply stop what you're doing, close your eyes, breathe deeply, and say these words quietly to yourself. Quietness of spirit. The words quietness of spirit are post-hypnotic conditioned response trigger words to reduce anxiety and intensify your calm and confident demeanor. These key trigger words invoke powerful post-programming mental conditioning that you can draw upon when you need it. When you say the words quietness of spirit, you'll immediately feel a surge of calmness and confidence flow through your body and mind. And every time you hear this suggestion, and every time you use your quietness of spirit programming, it becomes more and more effective. And it's now time to repeat another powerful affirmation along with me. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. When I say the words quietness of spirit, I relax, regain control, and experience a surge of calmness and confidence. That's right. You've programmed this suggestion on every level of your body and mind, and it becomes your reality. And now, once again, it's time to create another visualization in which you perceive yourself having successfully accomplished your goal. Fantasize the desired result of this programming. Create every detail in your mind, your feelings and reactions, the reactions of others, everything. Make it real. Do this now while I'm quiet for a while. And you've just seen your own reality. And upon awakening, you'll remember all that has been communicated. You'll awaken feeling as if you just had a refreshing nap. Your head will be clear, and you'll think and act with calm self-assurance, feeling glad to be alive and at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it. So let's come on up now. On the count of 5, you'll open your eyes and be wide awake. Number 1, feel the lifeblood returning to your arms and legs. Number 2, coming on up and at peace with all life. Number 3, coming on up, feeling an internal balance and harmony. Number 4, recall the situation in the room. And number 5, wide awake, wide awake. Open your eyes and feel good. Number 5, wide awake. You're wide awake and fully alert. And I'm going to communicate some powerful self-talk phrases. You can do other things if you wish while programming your mind by repeating the phrases after me. And throughout your day, recall these phrases and say them over and over to yourself, out loud or silently in your mind. All right, now repeat each phrase after me. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways. I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. I can resolve my concerns and conflicts with minimal effort. I accept the things I cannot change, and I change the things I can. I accept who I am. I always do my best, which is all anyone can ask. Every day, in every way, I become more peaceful and harmonious. Negativity flows through me without affecting me. As a result of this programming, I develop a new mellow and confident self-image. The words, quietness of spirit, are my key trigger words for post-hypnotic conditioned response. I accept all these self-talk suggestions on every level of my body and mind, and so it is. A quietness of spirit now permeates my body and mind. I release all tension created by stored up energy within my nervous system. All nervous energy is released to flow freely through my body and mind to be used in constructive ways.
Let's call her.
I feel calm, relaxed, and at peace with myself, the world, and everyone in it. I have the courage and confidence to do what I need to do to resolve my problems. All right. The self-talk phrases session is now complete, and in 20 seconds, the sleep programming introduction will begin. Sleep programming is nearly as powerful as hypnosis for programming your mind with life-changing suggestions. All you have to do is listen to the session as you go to sleep. As you relax and drift into first stage sleep, the cycle per second activity of your brain slows down to alpha. The second level of theta precedes deep delta sleep. Alpha and theta are the levels accessed for hypnosis programming. So on the following sleep programming session, I'll use the same induction as on the first session to take you to these levels quickly. Then, as you cross over into natural sleep, you'll continue to hear the suggestions. These affirmations are phrased for maximum acceptance by all levels of your mind. The words fade away at the end of the session, telling you to sleep soundly through the night and to awaken inspired to begin a new day. All right, now make yourself comfortable and prepare to be programmed as you go to sleep. close your eyes and get comfortable. It's time to breathe deeply and relax completely. Breathe deeply and relax completely, allowing a quietness of spirit to come in. Feel the blood flowing through your arms and legs, through your body and mind. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Take a deep breath. Hold it as long as you comfortably can. And then let it out slowly through slightly parted lips. And when the breath is all the way out, contract your stomach muscles and push it even further out and further out. And then repeat this process of breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And if any outside thoughts should come into your mind, simply brush them aside and return your concentration to the sound of my voice. And breathing deeply and relaxing completely. Breathing deeply and relaxing completely. And now use your imagination and feel your body relaxing one part at a time in response to my words. Play the role, play the part, and mentally relay the relaxing suggestions into that part of your body and feel them take effect. Feel your body relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. And the relaxing sensations are now coming into the toes of both of your feet at the same time. Moving right on down into your arches, into your heels, and on up into your ankle. Completely relaxed, completely relaxed. And these soothing sensations are now moving on up your legs to your knees, relaxing all the muscles as it goes. And on up your legs to your thighs and to your hips, just completely relaxing. And your full attention is on the sound of my voice as the relaxing sensations move into the fingers of both of your hands, relaxing your hands. And it now moves on up into your forearms, relaxing your forearms, and on up into your upper arms, relaxing your upper arms. And your fingers and hands and forearms and upper arms are now just completely relaxed as the soothing sensations move on down into the base of your spine and then begin to move slowly up your spine, up your spine, up your spine, and into the back of your neck and shoulder muscles. And the back of your neck and shoulder muscles are now loose and limp, loose and limp, just completely relaxed. And the relaxing sensations now move on up the back of your neck and into your scalp, relaxing your scalp. Feel your scalp relaxing and feel the relaxing sensations flow down into your facial muscles, relaxing your facial muscles, just completely relaxing your facial muscles. Allow a little space between your teeth, and your jaw is relaxed. And your entire body is now relaxed all over in every way. All tension is gone from your body and mind. All tension is gone from your body and mind. And it's time to imagine a bright white light coming down from above and entering your crown chakra of spirituality on the top of your head. Now this is the universal light of life energy. See it, feel it, create it with the unlimited power of your mind, and feel the light within you, flowing through your body and mind, filling you to overflowing with this bright white protectory light. And now, vividly imagine the light concentrating around your heart area. And visualize it emerging from your heart area to totally surround your body with a protectory aura of bright white God light. And as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice, vividly imagine yourself in a situation in which you were going down, 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 deeper and deeper down, as I count backwards from 7 to 1. Number 7, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 1. And you're now very, very deep. And you feel deep. But let's go down even deeper, even deeper, even deeper. Number 7, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 6, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 5, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 4, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 3, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 2, deeper, 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 down, down, down. Number 1. And you're now relaxed and at ease and at peace, in a relaxing, altered state of consciousness. And each and every time you alter consciousness, you will go deeper than the time before, until you've reached your natural level, which can be maintained by using this technique several times a week. Now, if at any time you feel uncomfortable in any way, all you have to do to awaken is to mentally count yourself up from 1 to 5. So you're in control. You can awaken at any time you desire to do so. And your body is relaxed, relaxed, relaxed. And your mind is relaxed as you cross over into sleep. A peaceful, relaxing sleep. Peaceful, relaxing sleep. And you're at peace with yourself, the world, and everyone in it.
I see what
As you go to sleep.
I see what Rainbow's saying. Even if he was to lift his ankles,
it ain't happening.
the calf muscles, they just not there.
It ain't happening.
Very small.
That's why Bam was calling him foreign.
Those are not the legs of a person that has spent a life of working out, running.
It's a sedentary life.
I'm not gonna let y'all do this. Somebody, because if it were y'all, let me tell y'all something. This is the metaverse. So while the fight crossed over to the real universe, this is what we're doing. He's an amazing meta security guard at the end of the day. He has a strong bark. Let's look at this glass is half full.
Okay.
He is protecting women, making sure these nakers, these ignorant nakers don't come on here acting up in these social audio spaces. So he is an amazing social audio security guard. That's right, First Lady.
But I like the Breeze one.
And we gonna leave it at because
Well said, Penny. Well said.
That's right.
Hold still.
Well said.